Hello, Magpies. Hope you're all doing well. It's another exciting day in the world of Newcastle United. And today, we've got some massive transfer updates to dive into. With Lloyd Kelly's departure to Juventus, the Toon Army is left wondering, who will be our next defensive rock? Well, it looks like Eddie Howe has his eyes set on a serious talent, Ousmane Diomande from Sporting Lisbon. Let's be honest, Kelly's time at St. James Park never really took off. He arrived with promise, but struggled for game time, making just 10 Premier League appearances before heading out the door. But to the club's credit, we've turned that into a $20 million deal with Juventus, plus a sell-on clause. Not bad business at all, but that leaves us short at the back. Sven Botman is still a rock, and Fabian Schär and Dan Burn have been warriors. But let's face it, they're not getting any younger. Schär, in particular, is already 33 and out of contract at the end of the season. Even if he extends, we need a long-term plan. That's where Diomande comes in. At just 21, this lad has everything we need in a defender. He's already dominating for Sporting, helping them keep 10 clean sheets in just 20 league games this season. Oh, and did I mention he played all 8 of Sporting's Champions League games, including a 4-1 demolition of Manchester City. That's the kind of player we're talking about. Newcastle were interested in him back in 2023, but the move never happened. Now, we're back in the race, but we're not alone. Bayern Munich and Chelsea are sniffing around too. The price? 50 million. But with our recent PSR boost of 73 million, this is the deal we can afford. Right now, our defense is holding strong, but the cracks are showing. Burn and Schär have been solid, but they won't last forever. Diomande, on the other hand, is built for the future. His ability to play in a back three or with a single defensive partner makes him the perfect fit for Howe's system. We also have some exciting young talents coming through. Alex Murphy, currently on loan at Bolton, is showing promise. And Cathal Heffernan is another name to watch. But let's be real. If we want to stay competitive in the Premier League and Europe, we need an elite, ready-made centre-back. Diomande could be that guy. Now the big question is, will Newcastle make their move? With top clubs circling, we need to act fast. If we can pull this off, we'll be securing one of the best young defenders in Europe. And let's face it, playing for Newcastle United is way better than sitting on Chelsea's bench or playing in Bayern's slow Bundesliga. Alright, Magpies, let's keep this rolling. We've talked about strengthening the backline with Ousmane Diomande. But what about the attack? Goals win games, and Newcastle are reportedly pushing hard for a player who knows how to find the back of the net, Brentford's Brian Mbeumo. Now we all know that the 2024-25 season is far from over, but smart clubs plan ahead. And Newcastle are doing exactly that. The 24-year-old forward has been a standout performer for Brentford, racking up 36 goals and 24 assists in 122 appearances. That's 60 goal contributions in 122 games. A serious return for a player who isn't even a traditional striker. As expected, we're not the only ones interested. Arsenal and Manchester United are reportedly circling too. United see him as a potential replacement for Antony, who, let's be honest, has been a disaster, while Arsenal are also being encouraged to make a bid. But let's be real, if Mbeumo has the choice, the best move is clearly Newcastle. Why? Because we're building something special here. Arsenal and United are stuck in transition, but Newcastle have a clear project under Eddie Howe. With the backing of the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, PIF, we're growing into one of Europe's most exciting clubs, and Mbeumo would fit right in. Mbeumo isn't just a goal scorer. He's a versatile attacking threat. He can play as a right winger, a second striker, or even lead the line when needed. That kind of flexibility would be massive for Newcastle, especially considering we've struggled with injuries in attack. Imagine Mbeumo linking up with Alexander Isak, Anthony Gordon, and Harvey Barnes. That front line would cause nightmares. For Premier League defenses, Isak's movement, Gordon's speed, Barnes' creativity, and Mbeumo's finishing. That's a recipe for goals. Right now, Brentford are reportedly willing to let him go for around 50 million. That's not pocket change, but it's a fair price for a player of his quality. The challenge is that financial fair play, FFP, restrictions mean Newcastle might have to sell before they buy. That brings us to the big question. Who would Newcastle sell to make room for Mbeumo? Miguel Almiron has already returned to Atlanta United, but we might need to offload another big name to make this deal happen. Could it be Callum Wilson? He's been a brilliant servant for the club, but injuries have held him back. If Newcastle want to push forward, we might have to make tough decisions. Absolutely. Brentford are open to selling, and Pete O'Rourke from Football Insider has confirmed that Mbeumo's price is set to drop this summer. That gives Newcastle a real shot at getting this deal done. Now we just have to hope Howe and the board move fast before Arsenal or United swoop in. If we pull this off, we're adding another proven Premier League goal scorer to our squad, and that's exactly what we need if we're serious about challenging for European football next season.